Welcome to SVGTV News for Thursday, December 11th. I'm Jimmy Prince for the details. At 40.65 cents, the St. Vincent Electricity Services says its fuel surcharge is at its lowest rate since 2011. The company's communications officer, Tamara Job Sprott, told SVGTV News that this reduction in the fuel surcharge proves that there is a correlation between declines in the world market and the local charge. Job Sprott said in November the rate was 52.77 cents and that the recent 12 cents drop is quite significant.
This is the lowest rate we have seen since March 2011, so it has been a while since we've been at 40 cents per unit. But what this shows really is the relationship between the fuel surcharge rate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the price of fuel on the international market. Because for persons who have been following that, you'd recognize that over the past few months the price has been falling, and so too has the fuel surcharge rate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we can clearly see a relationship between the fuel surcharge rate applicable on our bills and the price of fuel on the international market. So for December, we are at 40.65 cents per unit.
According to Sprott, Vinlet, which is the state-owned company, also use renewable energy in an effort to help cut costs and ensure that consumers get value for their money. She noted that it is easy for consumers to believe that the decline in fuel surcharge could lead to excessive energy use. She, however, advises consumers to practice the same conservation restraint they would have if the rates were higher.
We want to encourage our customers to continue to conserve electricity, because what we have recognized is that once the fuel surcharge rate starts to fall, persons tend to not practice the energy conservation as they would when the rate is high. So we want to encourage you to conserve electricity. It is Christmas time. People tend to use a lot of Christmas lights and add additional appliances and so on. So continue to conserve electricity as you go about your business.
The Ministry of National Mobilization has successfully embarked on a household mapping data software program with the assistance of the government of Argentina. The system will assist the ministry to understand what services are needed for families and what services will improve the development and the circumstances of people. Minister of Social Affairs Frederick Stevenson said the program will be of significant help to the ministry.
In general information on our social poverty reduction activities, it is important that we do so. There are many times when the international community come and look for data, they can't find any because we're lacking in that area. And so this morning we are eternally grateful for the software and the hardware that the government of Argentina have provided to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and more importantly to the Ministry of National Mobilization. I want to assure you, and for you to take back to your government, that we would use the software wisely. We would ensure that it works very well for us, and that St. Vincent and the Grenadines would be a better place because of the software and the hardware that you have provided to our people.
A representative of the Argentina government has expressed gratitude for being allowed to engage in the project.
It's been a fascinating journey, 2 years now, and we've been facing some difficulties along the process, but we were able to overcome those difficulties thanks to your involvement and our effort. And I really hope that this does not come to an end, that this is just the start of a new collaboration, as the minister said, between our two countries. And I'm really glad that the real beneficiaries of this effort it's going to be the people of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it's a true honor to participate in this.
The Ministry of Tourism is said to be paying more attention to domestic tourism as it seeks to develop the industry. Minister of Tourism Cecil Mackey says domestic tourism basically means that a person becomes a tourist in his own country.
Do the research and you would find that lots and lots, a high percentage of Vincentians have not visited lots of tourist sites here in the country. They have never gone to the Grenadines, and therefore they are not familiar with these areas. and we keep encouraging persons, we keep encouraging families, why not get together and enjoy the packages that we have to offer here? And we have been speaking with the Hotel and Tourism Association to engage the stakeholders as well, to ensure that we have these packages available to local families, that they can enjoy St. Vincent and the Grenadines and what we have to offer.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Luke Brown, will next week launch a book which speaks to entrepreneurship in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking at a news briefing earlier this week, Brown says he is happy to be finally launching the book as on December 16, 2014.
I just would like to invite the members of the public to come and to be a part of this launch. I think it's going to be a memorable event, and you see, we considered it important to do something about entrepreneurs because first of all, they are often unheralded, and they have made a meaningful contribution to our economic development, and this has come through the creation of jobs, through innovations, finding new ways of doing things, through the stimulation of economic growth by their own business exploits. And when you look at the history, you realize that some of these gentlemen played vital roles almost. You take the case of McNeil Trotman, for example. He's one of the entrepreneurs that was featured in the series. He was into electrical work and electronics and whatnot. And there came a time in his business career when he ventured into the installation and servicing of AC units, air conditioning units, for example. And as a result of that simple act, he prevented what otherwise would have been an outflow of capital from St. Vincent, because before then you had to bring in experts from abroad, whether you had a bank or another institution that had an AC unit and that needed the AC unit to be serviced. You had to bring in experts from abroad, and therefore that led to a loss of capital that would have otherwise been used for our own development.
With almost 1 year gone since the dreadful December 24th, 2013 floods, some residents of the leeward side of St. Vincent are finding it extremely difficult to move on. Last evening, SVG-TV News aired interviews with some Vermont residents who say they are not sure that Christmas can ever be the same again. There are those in the Bookabent area, though, who are of similar view. The residents told SVG-TV News the Christmas spirit is not only being dampened as a result of the lurking memories of 2013, but also because some of them are unemployed.
I really feel the Christmas vibe so much because today I've been working much, hard like those army tours, I ain't got nothing. So it's a struggle, and then you're making much money, and then every time you come so, you watch it, and then make it what do you do it again? They even make it worse because instead of paying it, they're digging it, and when they do want to come again and flatten it. So now when you ever come now, just for the bank, it's plenty easier now. So until you come, even a little boy sometimes they'll be worrying.
Yeah. How are you? Well, you're the woman of the house. How are you in the Christmas spirit?
No, not at all, because nothing happening as yet. I don't know for the next 2 weeks or so what will happen.
So I have to say I'm not really in the Christmas spirit this year. Not really doing anything much. But yes, I still have a feeling that even though last year was tragically, yes. This year, well, hoping that it will be better, but yeah, we still feel that something will happen.
Because of the flooding this year, Christmas for me personally has not been the same, because last year we had a lot of rain and it was very emotional because I lost my cousin. Like when I hear these songs playing, it's very terrifying because Christmas for me is a great time of the year, so I just want to celebrate it normally, but every time like rain comes and things, we get like the chills and stuff. So
no, I like Christmas. It's a great holiday, but I don't think it will ever be the same again because of the recent flood we had. A lot of people lost their lives, homes. It was really devastating. We'll never enjoy Christmas again.
You don't think so?
No, because like the person who was missing, the little girl, she was my cousin, and it really hurt me a lot. We went to school, we had so much fun. I don't think we could ever enjoy it like again.
SVG-TV News also spoke with Regiment Kwashi and his mother Brenda Cordis. Kwashi says he's still living with his mother since the devastation and has only been able to rebuild the foundation of his house.
This is what I'm doing to safeguard myself. As you see, there's no embankment down there at the moment, so still waiting, can't feel happy. Every time it rains, I mean, December 24th comes into mind.
Yeah.
The experience was a very bad experience because I was at work and my 6-year-old daughter was home, and I mean, I cried because I thought they gone. You understand? But I mean, thank God they're still alive, and you know, the memories will remain.
You know, like how the Christmas season coming back around, you know, I don't say, well, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just standing neutral, because the water, when the water go inside the house, it mash. I have 3 spaces here. The water mash them up the center table and chair and it, you know, everything mash up the kitchen, and you know, because the 21st was my birthday last year, so I didn't prepare the 21st, so they done paint up, buy up, and you know, because I was having a birthday party, so I said, well, I will decorate one time with the house and everything. It's spending a lot of money, and then everything just, so my feelings now is just not to do anything.
When we come back, Sandy Bay Primary School out front for a 3rd consecutive year in the Ministry of Education's Christmas Festival. Stay with us for more. Welcome back. For the 3rd consecutive year, the Sandy Bay Primary School has captured the Festus Tony Musical Award at the grand finale of the annual Christmas Festival. Here's an excerpt of their performance on Wednesday afternoon. The diaspora is expected to be included in this year's 9 Mornings Festival through live internet streaming. Invest SVG has partnered with Columbus Communications Flow and the 9 Morning Committee to make this a reality. Country Manager of Columbus Flow, Christopher Gordon, says they recognize the importance of local culture, history and the tradition, which they will be capitalizing on.
Here in St. Vincent, we intend to do the same. So I'm very pleased and happy to announce today, formally our partnership and sponsorship of the 9 Mornings Festival. Hopefully what I see is that this is the first of many years that will grow on this year and year, and will actually enable this festival to become an even larger part of the society of the pre-Christmas activities here in St. Vincent.
He says the live transmission will be through the availability of free Wi-Fi at 9 Mornings locations across the country.
How important it is for persons here in St. Vincent to share the activities, the sights and the sounds with their friends and family overseas. We know the impact of social media, of technology, of how using these tools can help persons who are, let's say, thousands of miles away in the cold, far from home, to feel like they're home, to see the sights, to hear the sounds, see videos and so forth. So we'll provide that free access, 100 megs access actually, up to 100 megs internet to these select 9 Morning locations across the island. Certainly here in Kingston, in Heritage Square and other locations that we will vet and validate. And certainly we also make a donation in terms of cash also to the 9 Mornings Committee to help them defray some of the costs. Again, we think this is very important. This is how we see a great synergy between our technology, what we can offer to persons, and actually help them to enjoy and share the festival, frankly, with those who just could not be here.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Tony Regisford, said that traditionally around the Christmas time, there is a heightening of commercial activities, and it is important that businesses give back by contributing to the development of 9 Mornings and other festivals.
A festival like 9 Mornings, which is a festival that involves a large cross-section of our communities, is a brilliant way for businesses to participate and give back. This, if you give it back, it comes back to you anyway. So from the Chamber of Commerce, again, from our perspective, we see it as an investment in community building, but also something that encourages commerce.
Representative of the Nine Mornings Committee, Lennox Bowman, says they are grateful for the sponsorships that they have been receiving, adding that funding of the festival is very important.
What funding does is to help us to have a better Nine Mornings, help us to achieve our objectives, help us to fully promote the cultural value and the tourism potential of Nine Mornings. And herein lies the importance of the partnering between these three entities. Invest SVG has a significant role to play in promoting the services and products of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, of which I think the Nine Mornings is a significant one. And at a more local level, the Chamber of Commerce has a critical role to play in bolstering what we want to project.
The annual Crime Prevention Exhibition, hosted by the Crime Prevention Unit of the SVG Police, will be staged this Friday outside the Central Police Station in Kingstown. At the exhibition, members of the unit will display posters and hand out literature with information on crime prevention tips. Also, measures persons can put in place to assist in safeguarding themselves and their properties. A number of business houses and security firms are also invited to display their products related to the exhibition. The police are extending an invitation to the general public to visit the exhibition and to gather all possible information as to how they can better assist the police in making SVG safer during the festive season and beyond.